Hi, my name is Schmidt-Crawford, and I'm an associate professor in the School of Education and actually the director of our Center for Technology and Learning and Teaching. And my task today is to provide you with step-by-step instructions to set up your university teacher education e-portfolio. Now, I know some of you may already have one set up. Others are new to campus. And really everybody that's getting this message needs to set up a new folder because we have revised and updated our teacher education standards for Iowa State. And thus, that requires a little bit of a change. Now, be reminded, it's not a huge change. Those of you with ePortfolio already, it's just really a matter of maybe changing folders, putting artifacts that you already have into a different folder in this new setup. So it's set up just like before. It's just, again, we have to follow our accreditation and our licensure practices, and so that's why this change is required. Okay? So with that, I'm going to get started. And the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually going to my email. The file that you will receive to do this should come through your email. So check your email. If you don't get a message like this, please see your program coordinator for your program or your advisor, and they should be able to make sure that you get the file. But you will receive this file. It's called last name, first name, major, and it's a zip file. You will receive that through email. All you do is just take that file, and what I would do with it is I would just copy it to your desktop. Now, I am working on a Macintosh. I do not have access to a PC for my purposes, so I'm going to demo this through a Mac, but those of you with PC, we've put a few notes into you extract the file instead of doing this, and it should work kind of the same way. Okay, if you have problems, please contact us in the CTLT. Okay, so what we'll do is to unzip this file, just double click it. Again, if you're a PC user, you will extract the file. Now, the first thing you should do is open up that folder and check to make sure. And you do ignore, these are other things on my my desktop, but you should have folders within that A, pre-student teaching artifacts. Please make sure those folders are there. And then B will be an empty folder, that's your student teaching artifacts, and C will be an empty folder, that's your synthesis of evidence, and those will come later on in your program. So once you know for sure that you have that extracted, then what I would like you to do is through the web, I would really appreciate it if you would use Chrome. I think Chrome works the best, and again, I think that's the browser of choice here at Iowa State in terms of our teacher education program. So if you don't have Chrome, you might put that on your laptop or your device, but do know that you're free to use anything that you want, but if you're having trouble, it might be because you're using a browser that's not quite as up-to-date as the Chrome browser. So the first thing that you want to do is now you want to go to SciBox. SciBox, you can get to it a variety of ways. I could just type it into the search bar. I'm just going to I'll go to the directory, and in the directory, I'll scroll down here, try to not make you dizzy, and find SciBox. I'll open that up. This is a ISU user ID system, so click on continue. You will have to use your username and password like you always do for your work to sign in. Now, my SciBox is going to look very, very different from you because I use SciBox all the time. Again, SciBox is something that you can use in the university for anything to store your files. We encourage that. It's storage in the cloud. So mine has a lot of folders already there. Some of you are going to get to this box and it will say something about a tutorial. I would just bypass the tutorial, then you kind of have an empty slate, but it still should work the same way, okay? And really all I want you to do is with this folder, I want you to drag it and then drop it into the side box. And notice what it's doing. It says it's, creating. You can see it down below there. It's creating the folders and so forth. Please let it do that, okay? And then open it up. And then what you should do is, hopefully in here, and it is, you have artifacts 1 through actually 10, okay? And that's great. That's what you should have. Now notice the titles of them, and those are going to be the standards, the artifacts that you now have with the standards. I also want to draw your attention, for some reason, I don't know, and I can't debug this really, there'll be a .ds store. I think it has something with my account, but what I would appreciate you doing is just going ahead and deleting that file. So if you see that anywhere on your folder, just delete it, okay? To move back into the, to move backwards or actually get out of there, just go back up to the top, last name, first name. You can see there's another DS store. Delete it, get it off there, and then you're set. Okay, now the one thing, if I go back to my all files, now I probably should have done this before so I know where it is. It's probably at the end of all of mine. As you can see, you can have a lot of, here's the last name major and folder here. Okay, when you get here, will you please click, there's a little pencil, it says click to edit, click on that, and do exactly that. Put your last name, comma, first name, and that's like changing it, and then put your major, put your teacher education program name there. So I teach for the most part in the LED program, so I'll just put LED and then save it, okay? And then basically you are ready to go. And then what will happen is you open that up, and then this is where you will just take files that you create. So if this was a file and I did it for technology, I would put it in there. Some of you, just to note, some of you have, this is what a lot of you will see if you're just starting new, even from the start. So again, you should just be able to drag and drop folders right in there, and you'll be set to go. The one thing that I was going to tell you is some of the programs do have cover sheets, and like LED has cover sheets. Some of the secondary education programs have cover sheets for their projects. Just put the cover sheet and the artifact in the same folder. Those of you that have been on campus before and have an old portfolio ready, we had a separate folder for the cover sheet and for the artifact. This time around, we'll just put them all in one folder with that, and then it will be easier to manage your folders on this site. Okay, and then again, to get to this area, all you have to do is log back in this SciBox, and then you are ready to go. Okay, so this is the first part of the series. Now I'm going to, in a separate video, I will show you how to share that folder so people in your program and licensure can see that portfolio. Okay, so don't forget to watch part 2 of this. Just if it doesn't work for you, or if you have any problems with this, will you please come to the Center for Technology in Learning and Teaching in the School of Education, and that is located in the basement level of Lego Morcino Hall. So come to Lego Morcino, the north wing, and go down to the basement, and students there at the service desk, the support desk, can help you if you're having problems. Okay? So have a great day, and I hope this works for you. Thanks.